guys, it's Sasha Thrice and Raw, and recently I've seen a lot of high-carb vegan girls who are interested in lifting weights, which makes me very excited because what I've noticed from lifting weights as a female is that you do not get bulky like everyone thinks, and girls are so driven to do just cardio-intensive exercises, and they're just so afraid of getting bulky by lifting that they just completely avoid it, and I think that's a huge mistake. Even if you're not someone who wants to lift religiously, incorporating lifting into your workout routine, I think, is going to be really helpful, and you're going to see this wonderful strength increase. And as a female, being able to lift your own like grocery bags or your own luggage is a really great thing, because I don't really love having like men always go to try to help me, and I don't really want men to think that they're like saving me, like I'm a damsel in distress, because it's 2015 right now. I don't need saving, and although that's very romantic in a way, I don't like that. So I like being able to fend for myself, pick up my own things, and not depend on having a guy to help me out. So lifting has really helped me in that sense as well. And also lifting has helped me build a more feminine figure, and looking at other female lifters who are natural, who are vegan, you can see that they have this beautiful female shape to them. So just as I feel I'm like the self-proclaimed OG of like high-carb vegan pole dancing, the OGs as far as I'm concerned of high-carb vegan female bodybuilding or female lifting is naturally Stephanie and Annie from Avocado Athlete. They have been really inspiring to me. They have pretty much inspired me to take lifting seriously. I'll post a link to their social media accounts below so you guys can check them out and follow them, and also hopefully be inspired by them. So they really helped me take it more seriously. So Joe, my boyfriend, who has been lifting since he was a freshman in college, his Instagram name is Vegan Soul, by the way, if you want to check him out, I'll put a link below as well. He has been lifting for a while and has always wanted me to lift for probably selfish reasons, let's be honest here, but also it's such a huge part of his life that he wanted me to be a part of that. And luckily now it's almost like I feel like I'm on a date with him every time we go to the gym. It's so bizarre, but I look forward to it every week. So he's always wanted me to do it, and he's taught me some things, and I went to Planet Fitness for a while. I went for about like a month or so pretty consistently, and it started to trail off, and I was kind of afraid that this wasn't going to be something that was going to really resonate with me, that was going to really click with me, and I felt kind of bad because I know Joe put in a lot of effort into teaching me how to lift. Then my busy season came around for work, and I felt like I started to lose a lot of weight, and in November I posted a picture on my Instagram, and I made a video here kind of talking about how I'm feeling a bit weird about how thin I'm getting. And this wasn't obvious, this was not to get attention or anything, this was just to be honest with you guys, because I don't want to be pretending like I'm, this health person when I'm not entirely happy with how I'm looking, especially when I'm feeling like I don't look too healthy. So from there I started to really start thinking about lifting. And for me, I'm not someone who can just jump into something and be perfect at it. I think ahead of time. I kind of meditate on the idea of me going to the gym. I don't even tell myself I have to yet. It's just an idea that maybe one day down the line that will be something I love. So for a couple months during busy season, it was always a thought in my mind that I did want to start doing this after busy season. And during busy season, I lost an extra 5 pounds, which I was not thrilled about. And honestly, when I look in the mirror, I didn't feel like womanly. I felt like a little girl. I felt like I lost a lot of sex appeal. So I really, really was excited to get into lifting and kind of bring back my curves. So it was in March of 2015, which is this year, when I started taking lifting seriously. And ever since then, it's been about 5 months now, I have been so happy with that decision. And I go to the gym probably about 1 to 3 times a week to lift weights. And it's been more on the higher side recently, since I've been going on Saturdays and Sundays with my boyfriend. Like I said, it feels like a date. We wake up in the morning, we try to get up early, we get our smoothies together, and then we kind of laze around and talk and drink smoothies for the morning, and we realize it's already 12 o'clock by now, and we really need to get to the gym. So we go to the gym, and we'll be there for about an hour, we'll stretch a little bit, and then we will go to Moe's, which tastes 10 times better after you lift, and it's honestly one of my favorite things to do. It feels like I'm on a date with him. And so yeah, that's why I go. It's fun for me, and it took a while for it to feel like it was fun and not a chore. There's definitely also a barrier of just nerves to get over, because as a female walking into a very male dominated section of the gym, it's very intimidating. I've noticed I walked in the gym even on my ugliest days, and you just get men just staring at you because they're like pumped up on like pre-workout, or they're on steroids and they're just like crazy bug eyes at you. It's a little unnerving. I mean, it's just that whole testosterone filled area. It's intimidating, especially when you're coming in and you're new as a female and now all these men are staring at you. You feel like you're under pressure. So to get over that, my suggestion is look up ahead of time. Well, first off, if you have a boyfriend who lifts, get him to teach you, because you are so lucky that you have a boyfriend who lifts. Let him teach you, and then also look up online proper form on how to do things, just to make sure, almost like validate that what he's teaching you is correct. Luckily, my boyfriend, he does understand form very well, and he has taught me everything that I've learned. I've looked it up online, and it's exactly what he said, so I'm lucky about that. But if I didn't have a boyfriend, what I would have done is I would have looked up online exercises to do, like squats, deadlifts, sumo squats, all that kind of stuff, and understand the form, like properly understand the form, and have like an itinerary of what you will do, because once you step into that room, your nerves might be a little shaken. At least for me, I get really nervous even now. So wear some headphones. Even if you're not listening to music, it's almost like a no, I don't want to talk to you, because some guys may come up to you. It's rare, like it's never happened to me. But some guys may come up to you and maybe try to talk to you. So just put your headphones on. Let them know that, you know, you're there for one thing. You're not there to go meet guys. Because I think sometimes at the gyms, some girls may go to the weight room to kind of like maybe meet some guys. Not that they necessarily are trying to lift. At least maybe that's what guys think. I'm not sure. So have your itinerary. Make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you've gotten the form down. You've watched a few different YouTube videos, because you might pick up something from someone else's video that was more helpful than someone else's. Definitely just make sure you have a good knowledge of what you're doing and why you're doing it. So if you just go into the gym to lift weights and you don't really know why, yeah, you look at the little sticker on the machine that says it targets this muscle right here. Know exactly why you're doing it, how it will benefit you, which muscles you're activating. That's really helpful, because you want to be conscious when you are lifting. You want to be conscious of your muscle movement. You don't want to just get through the set. You want to really engage and be there in that present moment. Be conscious of every movement you're making. So for those complete noobs out there, which is, don't feel bad about this, but if you don't know what a rep or a set is, a rep is an element of a set. So I usually do 12 reps per set. And then I usually do 3 to 4 sets per exercise that I'm doing. I'll start off with the first set being a warm-up set, which is lower weights, much more manageable, just to remind my body of the movements I'm going to be doing and to warm up my muscles. Then I start working up the weight as I go through each set. And by the last set, I want to get up to a weight where it's really challenging, where I'll maybe be 4 or 5 reps in or 6 reps in and be like, I don't know if I can finish this. I don't know if I can get to 12. I'm gonna try, but I really don't know. That's when it's really helpful to have a spotter who can help you through to the very end. But if you don't, it's okay. You can still manage this on your own completely. So if you're in a situation, say squatting especially, make sure you are at a squat rack where there's a catch, a crash landing. So if you're squatting and you have the bar and it's too heavy and you cannot get up and you've gone down and you're like, I can't get up, you just drop it and you kind of like scrunch down and it will hold the bar so the bar does not hit you and you're free. So don't feel bad about doing this. I have done it. I have done it even though Joe is spotting me. Don't feel bad. People are not thinking, oh wow, she's weak. They're thinking, wow, she challenged herself, or she went until failure. Good for her for not being like, you know, embarrassed, or for at least trying. People care that you do try. So if you're like me and kind of in your mind and worrying about what someone's thinking, you know, I've always been like that. Just know that people are only at the gym thinking, wow, good for her. Because not a lot of girls will enter the weight room. And when they do, and if they're trying hard and they understand form, they always get the thumbs up. Always. People always respect that. So as a female, I don't focus on my upper body as much as my lower body. So I'm doing leg days a lot more. I throw in some upper body workouts, maybe at the end of a leg day, or maybe sometimes if I'm just really exhausted from leg days, I will do maybe a shoulders and back, or a chest and shoulders kind of day to help me with the pull. I definitely have noticed my favorite moves that are arm intensive, I guess, are mostly back intensive, which are lat pull downs, which I pull down to the front. You can also pull down to the back, but I don't, because sometimes your hair will get stuck in the little connector, and that's no fun. So I pull it down to the front. Make sure you're keeping the proper posture. I also like doing low rows, and those are really great for your back. Lats here. That's mostly what I focus on. Also, you know, the classic benching, upright benching, free weight benching, which is always good. I wouldn't be so afraid of free weights. I've actually found that you might overcompensate with your right arm if you're a righty, or left arm if you're a lefty. And say you're doing a bench, you might be pushing a bit more up here, and that's just kind of, you know, helping you out. If you're doing free weights, you have to completely push up that weight for your arm. So don't be afraid of free weights. Know that they can be really good for you. Again, looking up online is the key to success for people who have no idea what they're doing, because a lot of the times I still don't know what I'm doing. So I'm always on the lookout for new leg things, especially on Instagram. If I find a female bodybuilder who has like a really nice booty, I will be like, what are you doing? And I will look to see the exercises she's doing, and if I want to do them, I'll incorporate them into my workouts. So for my leg days, I have two different variations of leg days. One is I start with squats on the squat rack, and then I will go into, maybe sometimes I do a leg press. I do leg presses maybe 20% of the time I go to the gym. And then I always do single leg kickbacks with the cables. So if your gym has, hopefully your gym has this, there are these little Velcros that go on your ankles, and they attach to this cable, and you bring the cable height all the way down, and you do straight leg kickbacks. Now I really want to make a video of all of the leg exercises I do at the gym, because this can be really helpful for you guys, because it's so easy to do once you see it happening. So I need to do that, but my gym doesn't allow filming, so I need to find a time when there's not a lot of people there so I can get this done. But this is a video I'm so passionate about making, I have to make this video. So it will be coming out, I just don't know when. I also need to film it at 2 different days, 2 different leg days, because I want to show you my variations that I do, because you always want to keep your body guessing. You don't want to do the same exact things every single time. So I always do those single leg kickbacks because they're so effective. I also will do those little, I guess the girliest weightlifting machines possible, which are those abductor machines where, you know, you have your legs and you'll either squeeze them in or you'll be pushing weight out. And these are actually really helpful for your stabilizer muscles for squatting especially. So if you're someone who started on the Smith machine squatting, and if you don't know, the Smith machine is, it has a bar and it's connected. So it only goes up and down, and it's completely connected so you can't fall over or anything with it. And that is helpful to a certain extent, but you really do miss out on activating those stabilizer muscles if you are only squatting on a Smith machine. I really do suggest squatting on a squat rack. I went for a really long time squatting on a Smith machine, and I didn't really see impressive gains until I went to the squat rack and squatted. But what I do use the Smith machine for is lunges, because lunges kind of mess with my knees. And my friend Colin, who's also vegan and he also lifts, he taught me this really cool exercise on the Smith machine where you can do lunges. It's really hard to explain, so again, I'd have to show you in the video, but that's something to also think about and consider. That's usually what I will do on my squat leg days. And then on my deadlift leg days, which is new, and I formulated this kind of schedule, I guess, if you will, I'll do deadlifts, which I'm still pretty weak at, so I'm really working up to properly doing deadlifts. And if you do deadlifts, you're going to get calluses. You can get gloves. You can also get wraps if your wrists are bothering you. But I do suggest trying out, especially in the beginning, using your bare hands to kind of build up some of the calluses in your hands so you can build up strength. And since you'll be lifting lighter weight, it won't be as ouch, you know, as ouch. I speak English good. And then after I do my deadlifts, I go on to sumo squats, which is just a variation of squats where your legs are a little bit wider out than your shoulder width and your feet are turned out a little bit. And I will carry a weight. I usually start at 55, I do 65 and 75 where I'm doing squats. And then what do I do? Like forgetting. Then I go to the single leg kickback, and then I go to the Smith machine lunges. So there are things that I try to do every time because I found that to be so effective. But then like I wouldn't suggest mixing squatting with then deadlifting, because deadlifting is so labor intensive and so is squatting. You will be exhausted. So I found that splitting them up has helped. So those are pretty much, I'm just trying to think if there's any other leg things I do. Those are pretty much the leg things I do. And they have helped me so much. Mainly, and then also if you're lifting, please stretch after lifting. I told Colin, it's like pay now so you don't have to pay later, so you can walk tomorrow pretty much. And it will also help keep your flexibility if you're someone who cares about flexibility, which you really should care about flexibility. Just doing some like holding some lunges, some crescent lunges, if you do yoga, working on some splits after a leg day, all that kind of stuff. I can also do a video of my stretches. I know Vegan Gains just came out with a really awesome video of his stretches. He is really flexible, by the way. Really much more flexible than me, and so his stretches are actually a lot of what I do. So if you guys want to check out that in the meantime, please feel free to. So pretty much recap, look up on YouTube all the how-to videos, make an itinerary, wear your headphones in the gym, even if you're not listening to music, but I do suggest listening to music because it will really help you push through the last few like reps in a set if you're like, And remember, in the beginning, you don't have to lift super heavy weights. You don't need to try to be impressive. Don't feel like everyone's thinking, oh, well, she's vegan, she can't lift, huh? Maybe don't wear a vegan shirt in the beginning. Sometimes I don't wear a vegan shirt if I'm not feeling super strong that day, because I don't want it to be like, oh, well, she can't lift. So, I mean, but hey, if you want to wear a vegan shirt, you go in as a newbie, whatever. Cred to you, honestly. So don't be so worried, and don't have to lift too heavy in the beginning. Work your way up. You really want to avoid injury, and you want to have the proper form and use proper posture, because that's going to help you in the long run, and it will help you be stronger in the long run. Focus more on legs. Personally, that's my take on it. And again, I do pulls, so I guess I already had a good amount of muscle beforehand. So if you are unhappy with your arms, definitely start looking up some arm exercises. Forgot this one, there's this one. I don't know the names of all of them. Yeah, arms is still like a new territory for me, and I'm still learning. So yeah, even 5 months in, you're still going to be learning things. There's going to be new exercises coming around the corner every day. So I hope this helped you guys out, at least gets you thinking about possibly incorporating lifting into your routine. And keep an eye out for my video of my leg days, because that is going to be really helpful. You will see everything I do, and I'm going to talk through all the things that I'm focusing on and pretty much walk you through my whole workout. So I'm really excited to do that, and hopefully this weekend I can get at least one part of it filmed. So I hope you guys are having a happy and healthy day, and I'll see you later. Bye.